Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Major Push Wrestling, where we give wrestling the major push that it deserves. I am your host, Gino of Gino's Best, Papa Gino 0017 from Mean Gino from No DQ Review, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the news that broke earlier today. As you can see, I'm all by myself, so you can expect this to be a shorter episode, but we will be full of content. So, for those of you that don't know, and I'm going to read this from Deadline. WWE is no longer waiting until next year to bring premium live events to ESPN's new direct-to-consumer streaming service and will instead kick off the recently announced partnership next month. The wrestling promotion announced Wednesday that the first live event offered on the ESPN platform will be the inaugural WrestlePalooza on September 20th. Now, I believe that this was a former event from ECW, hence the odd name. But this event will take place in 2025 Royal Rumble host city, Indianapolis, and will begin streaming live on the new ESPN service at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. for those of our friends on the West Coast. Now, this means that as of September 20th, ESPN will become the exclusive domestic, that means in the United States, home for all of the WWE's premium live events, otherwise known as PLEs. The rest of this year's PLEs, including Crown Jewel and Survivor Series, will also stream on the new platform. Okay, and it goes on to discuss more things, but I wanted to address this with you guys. We, as a community, as a wrestling community, our fans thought that we were going to be able to have our Peacock subscription to watch our premium live events until the new year. I don't know what type of legal mumbo jumbo that they pulled to where they can no longer have the PLEs on Peacock. I'm not up to date with what they had going on with their contract, but it sure feels like they pulled the rug out from underneath us and Peacock. Now, as somebody who has Peacock, who has Netflix, who has HBO Max, who had Apple TV Plus, and I'm going to be getting it again, who has I think that's it in Prime Video, but that kind of comes with my Amazon Prime, so I don't really count that, but it's a great service nonetheless. I'm a little bit confused. I was preparing to have to make these switches depending on the price, depending on whether or not I want to get a VPN in the new year. Now I got to make this decision a lot faster. It's concerning to me because it doesn't feel like they are taking the fans into consideration. Ever since TKO and the merger with UFC and all that stuff happened, it really feels like they are trying to squeeze every single dollar, not out of new fans, but out of us loyal fans, the ones who are actually watching the product currently. It's almost like what AMC is doing and the movie theater industry is doing, where they are charging the people who are actually showing up more money for the same product versus trying to entice new customers to come through the doors. As a sports fan, one of the rare competitive sports fans and WWE fan, I don't have ESPN Plus. If I get access to ESPN or whatever, I know they're going to make a new app out of it or whatever they're going to do. But I have Disney Plus, which I forgot to mention earlier, I think. And it has Hulu, it has ESPN on it. I never navigate to the ESPN tab. As somebody who has cut the cable cord a while back, but now I get it for free through my internet with the apartment complex I live at. So I have cable, but I rarely even use that. This feels like a slap in the face. You announce one thing, you do another, pull the rug out from underneath us. I announced on No DQ Review that, and last episode of Major Push Wrestling, that I don't even believe that they cared about the current fans when they were making this. They're announcing that, we think that we're going to get more children eyeballs on the product. Like, what child do you know is watching ESPN? I'm serious. If you're not at a bar or a restaurant or somewhere with a TV that's just on, like, you're not, like, nobody's really seeking this out. And if you are, more power to you, but you're definitely not doing it for WWE content. I know it's all about making money. Like, I get that. But similar to when WWE went super PG, they're ostracizing their fans that they currently have, thinking that we're not going to go anywhere. We are going to chase the product wherever it goes. And that's, it's a decent philosophy. WWE has increased its bottom dollar, but it's doing so by charging astronomical prices for their tickets. For example, I attended WrestleMania 28 once in a lifetime, which then became twice in a lifetime, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole other video. And that was like $45 for a ticket to WrestleMania. It was worth the drive to Miami from Tampa. I went to the Royal Rumble in Tampa, St. Petersburg, but whatever. 2 years ago, was it? And the ticket was like $300. And I arguably had worse view than at WrestleMania. And I was I was like 100 level, but it's a baseball stadium, doesn't really have a lot of high level things. They are pricing their diehard fans out of the product. What they fail to realize is that we have alternative ways of watching the product. We have alternative ways to watch wrestling. So I don't understand this push to be on ESPN so quickly. I know that the app is launching relatively soon. They got the John Cena commercial coming, announcing the app. So maybe they really want to drive viewers to the app as soon as possible. They don't want it sitting dormant for months, because it does cost money for a company to create a streaming app, to have content on there, to rerun content on there. Like, it does cost them money. They have to pay the royalties and things like that. But if your like big play is to have live wrestling events, just the PLEs, mind you, whereas non-domestically, internationally, everywhere else in the world, you can watch all WWE, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and I believe even NXT, and especially the PLEs, except for Saturday night's main event, because I do believe that that's a NBC live cable type of situation that they got going on Netflix. One-stop shop. And what you get so much other content with Netflix. I don't know anybody on the planet that goes back to watch a full basketball game, football game, whatever, after it's already aired. I don't. I'm sure there are people like that out there. I'm sure there are. Usually once you miss the live game, you look at the score and the box score, maybe some highlights. But who has time to sit through 2.5 to 4 hours of a game that's already happened? Even the NFL Network knows nobody's going to do that. So when they do their game replays, they cut through and they make it go faster. I am super, super, super confused as to why they think speeding up the process is good for anybody else other than themselves. And it's selfish, and I get it. It's a business. It's here to make money, Vino. No worries. Like, they're here to make money. They don't care. I get that. But if I stop paying for, if I'm not going to pay for the ESPN for $30 a month, then I'm just going to watch it on the high seas. Like, I already fast forward through most of it. Like the premium live event stuff, I mean, only after I've on the replays and stuff, I'll fast forward through some of the stuff. But like the premium live events, most people would say that they haven't been as good as they should be. And so we don't complain about it. I mean, some people do, but I don't complain about it because that's part of my 9.99, 10, 11.99, whatever Peacock subscription, where I also get things like The Traders, Jurassic Park movies, How to Train Your Dragon movies, Love Island, like things that me and my girlfriend enjoy watching, and a whole plethora of other content. They've got one of the best shows out there in Poker Face. Like, there's a lot of value for such a low price. Now they think we're going to switch over to ESPN. Like anybody who's a big diehard wrestling fan, like most of us don't give two craps about other live sports. So I just don't understand where they think the value to the consumer is. And maybe they don't care. Maybe that's why I don't understand it. Maybe they could not care less because Netflix stopped password sharing. And everybody thought, oh, well, I'm just not going to watch Netflix and blah, 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 blah. And people were saying, oh, I just want. They maybe lost 1 million subscribers of people who canceled because of that, but they gained 4 million more because they offered the option to add on your account and whatever. So people decided to pay for Netflix because of the value there. Am I going to be subject to watching commercials? Of course I am. It's live TV. So $30 a month, I'm paying for a service and getting a commercial. Here's my comparison to AMC theaters again. You got to watch 30 minutes of commercials after I've already paid you for the right to be in there. Usually when you pay for something, you don't get the commercial. And usually when you get something for free, you subject to the commercials because you're not paying for anything. That's how Tubi works. That's how Sling TV works. If you're that's how basic cable used to, or that's how cable used to work. Yeah, you would pay for the ability to have all those extra channels and blah, 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 blah. But what you were watching, because you were watching the commercials, it was a value to you. Now they're expecting us to pay top dollar and watch commercials? Like what? What? Like we already talked about on the last episode, the decision to move to ESPN, whatever. But now we're speeding it up. Now we have to do it 30 days from now, or 31 days, however many days it takes to get from August 20th to September 20th for WrestlePalooza. It sounds like a carnival game. It sounds like a WWE trading card mobile game app. I don't get it. It feels like being a WWE fan is about as hard as it's ever been now, between the quality of the product, the amount of hours of content that they're giving us, 4 to 5 minute long commercials, mind you, during these events. So I don't get why they are doing this. There must have been there has to be something. Peacock must have just been like, whatever, to heck with it. But now, like, is the value that I'm paying for Peacock not worth it? It's really infuriating. Less infuriating, more confusing. I really wish I had some of my cohorts here to bounce these ideas off of and see what they think. But that's okay. This news dropped today. I'm sure we're going to be talking about it in the coming days. It's just frustrating as a fan knowing that I got to make a choice sooner rather than at the end of the year. I'm sure they're doing this so they can get John Cena on the stuff, and ESPN has John Cena promoting the app, and Cena's retiring at the end of the year. So if they started at the end of the year, we wouldn't have Cena on any of it, whatever. I just would like because the companies have two ways to make money. Like AMC, they can charge more to the people who are already attending or already buying the product, or you can entice new customers to come to your product and offering lesser price. There are two ways to make money. Obviously, TKO, they're already swimming in money through all these deals that they're making with ESPN, how many $1 billion, and with the UFC stuff, how many $1 billion, right? I think it's almost $2 billion for the WWE deal and almost $8 billion for the UFC stuff. And they're eliminating pay-per-view watching options for UFC. So you're actually getting a value for the UFC on Paramount Plus. Like you can go watch South Park. You can go watch all the Taylor Sheridan shows, your Yellowstones, your All those things. And I don't think they're charging $30 a month. Certainly not with commercials. I'm confused. And I am starting to get a little frustrated as well with it. I'm really interested to see what you guys think. I look forward to reading all of your comments, whether it's in the virtual premiere live stream, or whether it's in the comments section below after the live stream has ended. Catching my breath. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to me. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.